Hello everyone and thank you for joining us. Did you know that the voice of Apple's personal voice assistant, Siri, isn't computer synthesized? We'll touch on that later, as we have an incredible lineup of fascinating facts for you. So let's get started. Here are 30 random facts to make your day. Although the Lord of the Rings trilogy earned nearly $3 billion in worldwide receipts, none of that money went to the Tolkien estate or the Tolkien Trust. J.R.R. Tolkien sold the movie rights to the trilogy and The Hobbit in 1969. Area code assignment was influenced by the rotary phone. Big cities like New York and Los Angeles received numbers that required less effort to dial, while less populous cities like Anchorage received numbers that took longer to dial. Early movies relied heavily on the photographic trick of forced perspective to keep sets affordable. The actors were filmed standing far in front of half-scale or small model sets that, thanks to forced perspective, looked full-size. 1989's Star Trek: The Final Frontier had a strong opening weekend but failed to meet box office expectations. The film remains the least well-received Star Trek film among both critics and fans. Despite the persistent urban legend that Walt Disney was cryonically frozen, he was in fact cremated and interred at the famous Forest Lawn Memorial Park in Glendale, California. Since 2010, it's been possible to make phone calls from the top of Mount Everest thanks to 3G cell phone antennas installed at Mount Everest's base camp. In 2013, the coverage was upgraded to 4G. There are more barrels of bourbon in Kentucky than there are people. You'll find approximately 12 million barrels aging in bourbon warehouses around the state, but only around 4.9 million citizens. Tabasco sauce, that iconic spicy American condiment, takes 3 years to produce. Most of that time is invested in the fermentation process, which helps soften and break down the raw peppers without cooking them. A May 13th, 1929 ball game between the Indians and the Yankees was the first Major League Baseball game where both the home and away teams wore numbered jerseys. Gold, a highly ductile element, can easily be stretched into a long and thin wire. 1 ounce of gold will yield a wire 80 kilometers long. Cyberpunk author William Gibson and influential video game designer Hideo Kojima have both said the 1981 film Escape from New York was highly influential on their body of work. As an aside, if you've never seen the movie, I do recommend you check it out. It's actually quite good. Liquid paper correction fluid was invented by the mother of Michael Nesmith, member of the 1960s pop sensation The Monkees. Despite his firm position as a silver screen icon, James Dean had a very short list of movie credits. He starred in just 3 movies and had walk-on minor roles in 3 others. The name of WD-40 is quite literal. The name stands for water displacement for the formula and was taken right from the inventor's lab notebook. The person in the foreground of Edward Munch's iconic painting The Scream isn't screaming, but is instead reacting to hearing the title scream. The natural sponge-looking loofah scrubbers you can buy in the beauty department are the fibrous skeletons of a fully ripened Egyptian fruit, Louflin egyptica, that is lighter colored than, but roughly the size and shape of, a cucumber. Radiocarbon dating was developed in the late 1940s at the University of Chicago by Willard Libby. He received the 1960 Nobel Prize in Chemistry for his discovery. The voice of Apple's personal voice assistant, Siri, isn't computer synthesized. It's the voice of voiceover artist and former backup singer Susan Bennett. The canopies of rainforests are so dense that dead foliage and debris catch in them, decompose, and create a second type of soil that is distinct from the soil found below on the ground. There are subtle differences between the different kinds of carbonated water. Seltzer water is simply water with carbonation added. Club soda is water, carbonation, and salt. And tonic water is actually a carbonated soft drink with water, carbonation, sugar, and quinine, which is a bitter plant extract originally included in tonic water to protect British troops against malaria, and now used in smaller amounts for flavor. The 1969 Oscar Award for Best Actress was shared, in the first and only tie for the award, between Barbara Streisand and Katharine Hepburn. If you're not a fan of spiders, then avoid the caverns of Laos. There you'll find the giant Handsome spider, which, with an impressive 12-inch leg span, is the largest spider when compared by leg span on Earth. Have you ever walked into a room and forgot why you're there? You're not alone. The doorway effect is a common phenomenon wherein passing through a doorway primes your brain to remember whatever new thing is about to happen there at the expense of what you're trying to recall. Truly blue pigment is extremely rare in the animal kingdom, and the vast majority of plants and animals we perceive as blue-colored are such as a result of how light scatters on their feathers, skin, scales, and petals. A standard pencil has enough graphite in the lead to draw a line approximately 56 kilometers long, or to write around 45,000 words. Even if you shave a tiger bare, it would still have its stripes. This is not due to skin pigmentation, but to the colorization of the stubble and hair follicles embedded in its skin. If we ate as much, adjusted for our size, as hummingbirds do, then the average human would need to eat roughly 155,000 calories a day to survive. Gasoline is blended differently based on the season in which it is sold. Companies have their own summer and winter blends. Although left unnamed in most cultures, in French culture, the kings found on playing cards are named. The kings of spades, hearts, diamonds, and clubs are named after King David, of the biblical fame, King Charles, Charlemagne, Caesar, the Roman dictator, and King Alexander of ancient Macedonia, respectively. Water has a freezing point of 0 degrees Celsius. Pure ethanol alcohol has a freezing point of minus 114.14 degrees Celsius. And even when diluted for consumption, there is still enough alcohol in your average 80 proof or 40% alcohol bottle of vodka to keep the freezing point at around minus 23 degrees Celsius. And there we have it, some facts about movies, science, and animals to make each of our day. Which was your favorite fact? Let us know in the comments below. Share this video with your friends, and don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell to be informed of more entertaining videos. Thanks for watching, and until next time, stay curious and you have a great day.